welcome to Extra Time with myself, Steve and Andy, and we're going to be going through the review of the Palace game that took place yesterday. If you haven't already, brain went dead, Andy. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Comment on this video at the end, your thoughts, your anger, shall we say, from yesterday's game. And all three of us will endeavour to get back to you in your answers. Boys, what's there to say? Steve, I'll come to you. Formation came out, tactics, lineup came out. What were your thoughts?
I thought all the players on the pitch would be absolutely shattered. I was pleased Fornals was in. I was pleased Emerson were in. How wrong was I? But then you put Fornals on the left wing, he's going to struggle, isn't he? But I looked at it and thought, those players are going to be tired. They were against Liverpool. How on earth do you expect them to be fully rested in effectively 2 days? I made a comment on the chat group I was in. In my youth, when I was a bit younger and more agile, I used to play golf at sort of second tier Essex level. And if I played, day 1, 75, day 2, 75, day 3, 79, day 4, I'd be lucky if I broke 90 because I was just shattered.
Yeah.
Now, that's me as an amateur sportsman. These are professional athletes who have played a lot of football. They need a rest. They just won't be. It's not that they haven't got the ability. They just won't be able to perform because they're tired. You start making bad decisions. Your body does everything a fraction slower. And in the Premier League, that is massive. So
you get your traditional aches and pains, don't you? I mean, little knocks, little nicks here and there. It's going to happen, isn't it?
It's just muscle fatigue. You've got to have time to recover. You know what it's like. You play football one day, you go out and play the next day.
It takes me about 3 days to recover, mate, to be honest with you. But
more than that these days for me. But
that's just me. Andy, were you of the same mindset as obviously myself and Steve? Seeing the players. I mean, we made the two changes. Obviously, Emerson comes in for Cresswell, and that lasted, didn't it? 45 minutes? And Fornals came in for Benny. Like I say, were you in the same mindset that the other 9 on that board? At least 8, because obviously Fabianski in goal, but was you of the same mindset that the other 8 were going to be on their arse, if you will?
The back 4, well, back 5, including Fab, that didn't really concern me because they do, well, on paper, they do less running. So I think they would have had more time to recover, and I think they've done well. They've done well over the last few weeks, and when you start tinkering, changing stuff, don't get me wrong, I've been calling for Emerson to come in, like what a lot of us have, but yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. But obviously, you can sit in there and digest. But the thing what's worrying me the most is we've got Man City on Wednesday now. So is he going to play the same team again? Like, that's the thing what's worrying me now.
Well, I said to Steve before you joined us in the green room, I said to him, problem is, if you put in these players that haven't played, Andy, your likes of your Cornet, your Ings, even dropping some of the kids in, you know what I mean? The confidence that they haven't got is going to be all shot to shit.
Because I watched the Fulham game today, yeah? So if you rested 6 players yesterday, we'd easily give Man City a game on Wednesday with that same 11, what we've done against Liverpool.
What we said,
The high press, you've got the experience, you've got Declan Rice, who's going to have so much more freedom, probably more than what he did against Arsenal, and Paqueta, because Man City are just going to go, we're just going to outscore you. They didn't today with Fulham. Fulham were very unlucky. So we've completely fucked it now, to be honest. We really have.
I cannot see it. Right. What I would do if I was Moyes, and I said this on another chat, I'd heavily rotate for the Man City game, because let's face it, we're not expecting to win either. But give our better players a rest, or our more seasoned players a rest, so we can have a real go at the conference. And if we beat Brentford away, that's it. We're done. We're safe. Yeah. We've got to a point where you've almost got to write these 2 games off, which is ridiculous with the size of squad we've got.
Yeah, but even then, even with a full rested starting 11, they're both going to be difficult games, regardless of fatigue and everything else.
But he made the comment in. Sorry, I know I'm going fast.
So, well,
He made the comment in his post match. The players were a bit tired. Really?
well, that's on you. Yeah, that's on you. There's no listen. He's got no one else to blame for himself with whatever follows now. And as Steve has already alluded to, the Conference League. In my opinion, I would rest over the next 2 games, but we're getting ahead of ourselves there. Started really well, boys, didn't it? I mean, you could see. I think the percentage stats, and I know we don't always look at the percentage stats, boys, and we don't overly care
Oh,
too
yeah,
much.
overall, it said we had 40% of the ball. I thought we were lucky to have 10. It felt like.
Well, I was going to say there were points in the opening 15 minutes just before IU scored. That we had something like 12% of possession at that point. And I was just like, well, that's painful, isn't it? Really? Let's not lie.
Yeah.
That's really, really embarrassing. I mean, what did you think of what do you think of Souček's goal, boys? Let's start there. Let's talk about Big Tom.
Good goal against the run of play.
Yeah.
Completely. James and I were sat there watching it, and we went 1 up. We went, "Oh, wasn't expecting that."
Yeah,
it was ridiculous, wasn't it? It's a good. Don't get me wrong. I felt it was a good goal. I think he did well to get.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Deck's goal against was it Bournemouth? Yeah, Bournemouth last week.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see him get back on the score sheet. I gotta say I was pleased. Palace's first goal, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was a really good goal. I actually thought it was some really good football. I felt that Zuma took his eye his attention off the game. And IU just runs straight across him. Great reverse pass. Great reverse pass. It's it low, near post. Can Fabianski do better, Steve? Should he have done better?
Yeah, I think Fab should have stopped that.
He takes a step, doesn't he? If you go back and watch it, he takes a step because he thinks he's going to go across goal. And then that step just puts it out of reach of him.
Yeah, but it's those fine margins. I've seen Fab save loads of those. Yesterday he didn't, and it happens. But I think he should have stopped it. I didn't. It's very hard to criticise Fab because we were awful. But I don't think Fab had a great game either, to be honest. So I think he should. I think he should have stopped it. And if he stops it, it's a very different game, isn't it? Because we're 1 up still, and you could get a Fulham-like performance. But
yeah, it really frustrated me, to be honest with you.
I'm not just saying it. Ariola stays that. He's got the agility. He's 10 years younger than Fab. He can easily change direction 100%. And the thing what winds me up the most about it is, after that goal went in, everyone's head dropped. Everyone's head. They just looked around, not taking no responsibility. And this is where I'm going to slag off Declan Rice. Declan Rice should be going around, pointing to Zuma, pointing to Aguero. Don't worry about it, lads. Heads up, don't worry. Put their hand around Fabianski. Don't worry about it. Instead, they looked around, looked fucking like, yeah, game's over. Like we lost, like we were losing 3-1 at that point.
Well,
That's what
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what was there. You say that, Andy, and you know, I talk about. I tend to talk about Martin Odegaard. You know, another young captain in the Premier League.
Yeah.
When the penalty was missed by Saka in our game, the first thing Odegaard did was go put his arm around the shoulders of Saka. First thing he did.
Actually, sorry,
put his arm around him.
sorry, I'll take that back. It wasn't Zuma at that point because obviously he went off injured. Sorry, I didn't mean Zuma.
No, Zuma was at fault for the first goal.
Zuma
No,
was
but
on
that's
the
when he got
pitch.
injured. That's when he got injured.
He was taken off 4 or 5 minutes later.
Oh, he rubbed it up. Sorry, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it was him. He does. He
He's
lets
out
him
for the
run across
season,
him.
I reckon.
Yeah,
left
it
in
wouldn't
the boot.
surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. He did look in a lot of pain the way he was lifted off. But again, this has been an accident waiting to happen.
Sorry, can I just? Sorry, I know we're just talking about that goal.
No, go on.
In your opinion, why did Kera not come on instead of Bonner? Because that just messed the whole thing up, and that's Moyes being stubborn again, as usual.
I think it is. I think I was calling for Kera just because I felt it was going to help kind of nullify the pace that Palace had.
Mm.
No disrespect to Oggy, I know he's relatively fast, but again, he's not shit off a shovel quick, is he? Do you know what I mean? So,
And Aguerd moving over to right centre back, which he's not hardly play. I know sometimes he plays there for Morocco, but like that's
not his favoured position, is it?
no.
There's very few things from that game you can look at. In fact, I don't think there's anything to say, oh, we got that right, or that was a good decision. And that's what worries me. There was no, from the managerial side, there were very questionable, very poor decisions made from the lineup, in-game management, and on it goes. And if we'd managed Liverpool better, I reckon we'd have beaten Palace because we were dead in our feet and we still put 3 goals past them. It's so West Ham score 3 away goals and lose.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's go on to goal number 2 then.
Wow.
Comedy of errors, boys, in my opinion. The Zaha goal, back post. It's comedy of errors. It could have been cleared 3 times.
And of all players to score, that was the most luckiest goal ever. Like that was, if he hit that more even wrong, that was going straight over. And he's arrogant. I just can't stand him as a human being, as a human being, not just a footballer. I just think he's a fraud. He gets away with his crying, he's bitching and moaning, and then he celebrates like he's just won the Champions League. Just sums him up, really.
Yeah. I mean, rumours are that they've offered him 10 million to stay.
He should take it.
I don't think he goes anywhere else and gets the adulation and the.
Well, it's same for Deck, isn't it?
No, but Deck can go elsewhere.
Oh, he can go elsewhere, but he's not going to be as loved. If he
No,
goes
but
to
he's
Arsenal
but
as
he's
by
no,
us.
but he will be. I think Steve. That's whereas with Zaha, there's just this unrivaled adulation at Palace for him. Whereas he goes elsewhere, and he's not going to be a big fish in a small pond anymore. He's going to go. Declan Rice will be a big fish in a big pond. I think Declan Rice.
I tell you what, though, if Deck, we'll forgive Deck an awful lot. If Deck plays for Arsenal or City or United and puts in a performance like he did yesterday, he will get slaughtered. He will get absolutely eaten alive.
I think that's his worst game in about 2.5 years. I remember
I agree.
Yeah, without a doubt. It was awful.
I just don't understand how the second goal went through. How it got all the way to the back post. That's the bit I don't understand.
Well, there's I think it was it Ayew? I think it was Ayew who had the flick.
Sorry. Ayew, how has he turned into pro R9 whenever he plays against us? I think he's the most. And you had Seydorf Zaha on the flipping left wing. Ronaldinho, I should say, and then you had flipping Seedorf Eze centre midfield. It's like you couldn't fucking write it.
No,
No.
they've been poor all season. They come up against us, and they're just like
Yeah.
Jesus. They were
Yeah, we didn't put up a
fantastic.
lot of resistance, did we, boys? Let's be honest.
No, that's
We
fair
let
enough.
them play.
But again, I think that comes down to fatigue and
Yeah.
you know, the players been absolutely fucking knackered. All right, let's get it out of the way because I've been championing him for a couple of weeks. Thomas Souček and his absolute touch of a wrong un, shall we say, for the third goal. Obviously, Agard plays it into him. His first touch is awful. It bounces off of him. Schlupp comes in up behind him. All right, again, I'm actually going to, although I will blame Souček for his bad touch.
Aguerd shouldn't be doing that.
Agard shouldn't be giving it to him.
Well, yeah, hang on a
And
minute.
Fabianski's got to do better again, boys.
Yeah,
Mm.
you say Gerd shouldn't be giving it to him. It's a Premier League footballer on a pitch, picking up 60 grand a week.
Steve,
He
we
should be
can't
able
play
to deal
out.
with-
We
he
can't
should be
play
able
out.
to
We
deal
know
with
we
it.
can't play out. We know that Souček has a clanger in him. But listen, they all have clangers in them. But we shouldn't be playing out. We don't have the personnel to play out, right? Especially when we're already 2-1 down. We've made mistakes consistently in the opening, half hour. That ball should be going to the halfway line. Reset and let them come again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We shouldn't
I
be playing.
agree with that, but I still think Souček should be able to deal with that. I think any
listen,
Premier League
He's
player
not
should.
immune from criticism, Steve, and that's what I said. He is to blame, and his touch was awful. But I don't think Agard should be giving it to him.
No,
And
I
I
agree
think
with that.
Fabianski has got to do 200 times better. When do goalkeepers stop going down and spreading themselves? Why do we now go into a squatting, praying mantis kind of shape and the ball goes through our legs? I don't get why he didn't come down and either spread himself left and right, low, rather than standing just straight upright, with in a squat position. I just don't. It just irritates me. And he went through his legs, and obviously we find ourselves 3-1 down in a game where neither side were filling their fans with confidence. Neither team was shit up. Neither team was looking like world beaters. Do you know what I mean?
Palace looked a lot better than we did, though.
Yeah, but they still look poor, Steve. There were points.
Oh, yeah.
You only have to look at our 3 goals. They've been poor.
Well, I mean, I thought we've sat here, James and I, and we both looked at each other and put our heads in our hands and thought, wow, how did that happen? It was. But then again, it didn't surprise me. We were all over the shop, We were
You say
running
that.
around
You
clueless.
say that. 5 minutes later, we're back in it. 5 minutes later, and this is what I mean by neither team being brilliant. We were back in it again. It's a corner.
Yeah.
Jack flicks it on. Antonio's just standing there. Bang, head out. 3-2. Ridiculous. We shouldn't even. We shouldn't be there at this point.
No.
We shouldn't be there at this point. I mean, for a neutral, banging game of football watch. There was loads of them in the pub yesterday telling me how good the game was to watch. And I'm thinking, can you piss off? We're losing 3-2. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Oh, for the neutral, it was a lovely game. For me, it was, a bit like Nightmare on Elm Street or 1970s winter football for West Ham revisited, It was unbelievable.
Andy, subs at half time. And we see Fornals go off. We see Emerson go off, and we see Cresswell and Ben Rama come on. Did you consider them positive substitutions at the time?
No, 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 none whatsoever. Substitution should have been Kara, Kara on for Suchek, and then change the system. That should have been the substitution. Go to a back three. Move Emerson to his favourite position, what we bought him for, what he plays international for his country for, left wing back. Move Soufal slightly forward so he's got more time to Mike Zaha. And then we're back in the game because it was their midfield three bossing it. We can see it. You might not agree with me. That's what I would have done. Creswell, I don't know what planet everyone else was fucking on. They said Creswell was our best player in the second half, but I just didn't get that. So you're saying he's knackered, he's rested him, and then played him for another 45 minutes.
Yeah, Paul anyway, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I got to say, from where I was sitting, I thought we looked a bit better balanced with those two subs on. I thought we looked slightly better. But again, you know, you play Fornals out of position, he's going to struggle. You play Emerson there, and everybody bangs on that Cressy better than Emerson. For me, no. But Emerson's not used in the right way.
Yeah.
But it was it was like watching a Sunday League match the way it was. Sunday afternoon match on Hackney Marshes, the way that game went, kicking it about, the control and everything else. Lots of running around in a pointless fashion.
Yeah, it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. And the problem is the second half didn't start any better, boys, did it? Let's be honest. That we were pinned back almost from the off, and then 20 minutes. Listen, we got to talk about it. We have to. 20 minutes later, penalty.
Never.
It's not. Is
Are
it?
you sure? Are you sure? Because Peter Wharton said it is a penalty. Remember during the game.
For what?
Yeah, because this is the best bit. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. The best bit is Did you see the angle? What VAR looked at? The referee's angle. That's the angle they looked at. To top it all off, what gets even more better? He says that on the commentary because he don't want to get slated. Yeah, it was the right decision, sticking up for the ref. And I sent you the link, didn't I, gents? In the soccer, when Robbie Savage started questioning, he went, "Yeah, it was a howler." No, fuck off. It's corruption. It is fucking corruption. That's what it is.
Well, listen. I said this on my video after the Liverpool game about the Premier League being a brand. The Premier League, mainly sponsored by Sky Sports. It's a joke. It's a joke. That was never a pen. Never a pen.
No.
Moyes has come out and criticised VAR at the start, after the Liverpool game. And lo and behold, we get fuck all from VAR after it's been criticised. It's never a pen. It's never a pen.
No.
I mean, you can see in... Where is it? I'm
not Gary O'Hara's biggest fan, yeah? And he hates West Ham. Even he said it. The last two decisions have been a trope. And that's with his Tottenham hat on, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's with his Tottenham hat. But going back to it, this is the best bit, what makes me laugh about that TalkSport thing. A Newcastle fan calls up, yeah? And he went, look at all these West Ham fans crying over two decisions. A football game's played over 38 games. And then Gabby Bondahor went, so what happens if your decision stops you well, they're not now, after, obviously, stops you getting Champions League? And he went, yeah, I'll just have to. Bullshit. Fucking
you don't see it, accept it. You don't. I don't care.
Yeah. This is where the bullshit lies.
If those two decisions have been called right, we could have well been on 37 points and safe. And that's the difference.
And that's it. That's for me, this is all it boils down to. It's awful. There's people saying, "Oh, it's for the shirt pull." There's people saying it's because there was a little bit, very, very slight, and then he literally, I'm talking.
He's dived. It
Oh,
was
If that was a penalty, then the Richarlison one this afternoon when Pero crossed the point. That's a penalty then.
Listen,
That's exactly what Trent done.
You've got this picture. You've got that picture, boys, right? It's not like the penalty was even like that. It was a slight brush. I mean, that if that's in the penalty box and we get given a penalty, fine, I'll take that. But don't get me wrong, that happens 300, 400, 500 times a game all over across the pitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't tell me it is a penalty. You can't tell me that, we shouldn't be bleating, as the other fans are saying.
But I'm not just saying it. Obviously, Michael Oliver is never allowed to referee a Newcastle game because he is a Newcastle fan. Yeah. David Coote is apparently a Manchester United fan. Seen him ref. I think he might have refed it, but he's made it clear he's been at a Manchester United game. Craig Paulson is a Sheffield United fan. A Sheffield United fan. Oh, well, do we have any history with Sheffield United by any chance? Can you remind me? Can you just a little bit? Just a little bit, yeah.
I've seen 2 really terrible refereeing performances. And if the FA listen to this and they want to call me up, Duke's got my number and I'll tell you what I think. But I've seen last 2 games, I've seen referees perform in a way that in any other job they would be dismissed for incompetence. And that, you've got a multi-million-pound product and you've got the guy in the middle of the pitch who is not up to the job. And that is where it falls down.
Too many.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, listen, we still weren't dead and buried, were we? Despite the fact that the PGMOL and VAR and everyone else want to fuck us over. We got back into it. And again, VAR was looking at... it says here, right? I'm just reading. So, again, pulls another one back. Yeah, again, it's a corner that catches Palace out. It's not the best delivery. Souček stoops to help it over to the far post. It loops up. Again, gets above his defender, a glance in the net. VAR has a quick check for a possible handball. It weren't a quick check. They watched that 7 or 8 times.
Then they checked for offside, didn't they?
Yeah. It's like they were determined to find something to be able to rule that out.
Mm-hmm. I am singularly. We've been cost quite a few points this season. There was the Chelsea game, Cornet's goal.
Yep.
Last 2, and there have been other decisions as well. We'd be free and clear now if VAR could do its job. It's not fit for purpose.
We know that, and this is what I said after the Liverpool game. Let's have officials coming out and giving their reasons for why they've made the decisions that they've made. I might not agree with it, but at least they're coming out and telling us why. Do you know what I mean? So, and everyone's
I think what they're saying was on Saturday. That's the bit what winds me, because they say this. It was clear. It was not clear and obvious. Are you kidding me?
So
like,
yeah.
And that's what Peter Morton said. He said he was too quick to blow that whistle.
He was.
And he didn't even see it. So he's presumed that there was contact. I'm thinking VAR. Why didn't he go and check the monitor?
Because VAR didn't call him over.
The referee has still got a right to go and look at it, though.
But that's the point, isn't it, Andy? You've just said there, he blew his whistle, was too quick to blow his whistle. He's blown his whistle. And if he's got it wrong, VAR will tell him so. But then that should be the same for the game against Liverpool, mate.
Yeah.
He should blow the whistle, and if he's got it wrong, VAR tells him so. That's the way it should work. Yeah. That's the way it should work. I want to give a special mention, and I'll wait for the comments, and I'll wait for the comments in the chat in the after the video where people are going to come after me. But I just want to talk about Ben Rama, boys.
Just quickly before you do that.
Yeah, go on.
I get banter. I get a plastic. But what the fuck was Eze? That really pissed me off. The fact that he knew that he fucking died for that penalty and giving
Yeah.
it all the fucking that's what fucked me off more than anything else as
Yeah,
well.
no, I agree with you. Mate, listen, you mentioned Eze. I've mentioned Ben Rama. We wanted Eze. They got Eze. We got Ben Rama. And I know people are going to come at me for this, but I thought Ben Rama was shit.
Yeah, I agree.
He offers nothing right now, boys. In the change since we've reverted to what we did best, he's regressed badly. He really has. And yesterday was just another. Listen, he in the Premier League this season. He scored 5 goals. 3 of them are penalties. He's got 3 assists. 2 of them are for Declan Rice, just passing on the edge of the box. I'm not singling him out because it's hate or anything else, but that's not good enough for a player that cost us nearly 30 million quid. That his output for 3 seasons has actually been quite diabolical. If you look at his numbers have been really poor over 3 seasons.
Yeah, so I've got him here for Premier League. 93 appearances, 14 goals and 15 assists. That's his Premier League.
That's 1 every 3. That's not good enough for a 30 million. That's in this day and age, £30 million is a squad player in the Premier League, near enough, to be fair. Let's not mess around. That's a lot of money. Oh, no, sorry, it's not a squad player, but Saïd Ben Rama is a squad player. So we've spent a lot of money on essentially just what is a squad player. And that's a goal involvement 1 every 3 games. That's not good enough for £28 million.
What really annoyed me yesterday about Ben Rama did one thing I was seething at. Okay, we're literally in the last seconds of the game. He's got space, he's got time, he just has to put the ball in the box. And let's see what happens. I'm not saying it would have led to a goal, but he's got to put the ball in the box. What's he do? Kicks it out of play. It's just, this is your chance to get a point. You are meant to be. Everybody raves about how skillful Ben Rama is, how talented he is, what he brings to the team. Well, yesterday, what he brought to the team was when we had a very, very slim chance of getting the point, he's booted the ball out of play. And that was just the level of frustration there was just unbelievable.
I'll just touch on what Andy was saying about his stats, yeah?
Yeah.
He averages just 50% of his shots on target. He's had 48 shots at goal this season, 24, and this is in the Premier League, 24 on target. That's not good enough. That isn't good enough.
I'll get rid of him in the summer myself.
I would.
I've got so I'm just comparing Jared Bowen. This is just this season in the Premier League. Jared Bowen to Saïd Ben Rama, yeah? So this is just crossing, yeah? I'm just doing crossing first. So Bowen's played 2 more games, so let's just say 10 a game on average, yeah? So Bowen completed 145 crosses this season in 33 appearances. Ben Rama, 71.
And Bowen hasn't had a good season.
And Bowen's made big chances created, 7. Benny, 4. Passes per match, they're both around the same. But Bowen has done more passes and more assists. And this is Jared Bowen's worst season since he's been at the club, probably.
Oh, yeah, he had a really bad start to the season, didn't he? The Bowen... I tell you what, I'd like to compare Bowen's stats from last season when he was on fire.
Well, I can give you that. I've got it in front of me.
Go on.
12 goals, 10 assists in 36 games.
Right, okay.
24 goal involvements over 36 games.
Yeah.
That's about a goal involvement every...
Well, 2 out of 3, isn't it, roughly?
70, probably every 70 minutes.
Yeah.
Give or take. This season, don't get me wrong, there's only 5 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League from him, right? And for me, that's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough. But at least there's an end product from him. As Andy just said, at least he's getting the ball into the box. At least he's completing crosses. At least he's attempting to do things. Ben Rama isn't. But for some reason,
No,
Moyes is not interested in playing Cornet on that left wing.
Ben Rama is trying to do things. He's just not pulling it off.
Listen, he lacks. Hang on, he lacks a footballing intelligence. He lacks a footballing brain. There's too much for me that he lacks in what he tries to do. And I think the sad part of that is that people are seeing him as this kind of people are seeing him as this absolute saviour of ours, and he really isn't. He isn't. I'm sorry.
People look at the potential and go, "Oh, he's got all this. He can do all that." But can doing something and actually doing it are two very different things. And he can't live off this level of potential and everybody go, "Oh, he's wonderful because he could do something."
He has a lack of discipline and he has a lack of focus.
Yeah.
And that for me is everything. Listen, people are going to point out it's easy to make him a scapegoat. Yes, everyone's been poor this season, but Ben Rama's taking it to a different. For me,
everyone was slagging off Ben Rama for walking straight down the tunnel yesterday, and I get that he's frustrated. And I'm going to get Emerson and Paqueta done exactly the same thing. Didn't go over and see the crowd. I've seen the videos of that before anyone starts going, look, you're just saying that. But you could say, oh, it's a confidence thing. But the one thing you can't do is not thank the supporters. I was raging when Moyes done it at Fulham away as well. Everyone goes, well, he was getting criticism. The one thing you do is show that you're with. Because now, if he has another bad game, if he plays on Wednesday and does another bad game, it's going to hit the fan. And the fans are going to turn again. Benny is like hot and cold.
Let me ask you this. Is there a Premier League right back that would be concerned about coming up against, say, Ben Rama? Any of them?
The one last week, Bournemouth. I'm not. No, but I'm just saying, like Luke, like the old players. Carl Walker's going to have a field day on Wednesday if Benny plays.
Oh, listen, they'll double up on Emerson. They'll double up on Emerson. If Emerson plays on Wednesday, Emerson will have two people to deal with because Ben Rama won't be anywhere near fucking defending. He'll stay up top. He won't bother coming back. His lack of positional awareness, defensive capability, and the rest is fucking awful.
So what's the solution? Because
don't play him and sell him.
I don't think it's cool. No, for that particular problem on Wednesday, I'm not sure it's Cornet, and I don't think it's Fornells on the left.
It's not Fornells. I personally think it's definitely Cornet. But that'll be a conversation for Tuesday, gentlemen.
Yeah, fine.
But obviously, we got that goal back. Obviously, 3 goals from set pieces, Aguerd.
Yeah.
But honestly, mate, I was stressed to fuck watching that game yesterday.
Yeah, it
was fucking dreadful.
There's nothing else to say, is there? It was awful.
No, you see, I was more resigned to it. Sort of, you win some, you lose some, because that tends to be my view on these things. But I can't sit here and say that we were good in any part of the game. We weren't. But okay, the players have got to perform on the pitch, but you've got to give them the tools to do it. And part of it is their physical ability to get out there and do it without being completely shattered before they walk on the pitch. And it comes down to rotation for me, and I think Moyes is getting this badly wrong and will blow the Conference League if he doesn't sort it out.
Well, listen, we can discuss that in the preview for the next couple of games as to what we think he's going to do, or how he thinks he's going to go about it. Steve, any last words from you before we wrap? Because I've got to get to work, and Andy is probably about to wear a pot or a pan up the back of his head at this rate.
Well, no, we're going out for an Indian. I'm going out for an Indian.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Final words. If we don't rotate, we're going to perform like that till the end of the season.
Well, that's it, isn't it? That's the be all and end all right now. Is that's what we see? Is the performances will be like that. We'll lack the quality because the players are just on their arse. Andy, anything from you?
Yeah, I've got to say, if you turn your camera off, you sound more like Phil Mitchell with that cough.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too great, mate. I sang far too much last night at karaoke, so my voice is going. It's rough.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
Yeah, and definitely the bald head makes you more look like Phil every day.
I'll just get a bottle and start crying. James,
that meme, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with you
that'll be me.
crying with a bottle next to the bin.
Well, I was more like Ian Bill in the meme after the game yesterday, just sitting there.
Oh, I thought you meant homeless and standing outside like a wrong one.
Well, if I let this, I might let it grow out. It's a days like the stubble.
Yeah. Like I said, the next two games are a write-off. I don't like. It would have been nice to get a point yesterday, but we can't sit here. And we're in the semi-final, so I'm not going to sit here and mope around for days.
I was going to say, yesterday was yesterday. Now we just got to concentrate on what comes next.
Yeah, can't change yesterday.
Nope. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. Those watching this, as we said earlier at the top of the show, please like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit the bell icon so you get notified when shows like this and the lives go. One thing left to say, and that is we are fucking massive. Just not based on yesterday's performance, sadly. Join us next time. We shall see you again very, very soon. You've muted yourself.
I'm not saying it because we didn't win. I'm not saying it.
We can only say it when we win. Fair enough. Yeah. Take care, chaps. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.